They came to steal the sun and soil, with a guard upon their breath, to wrap our world in iron coil and sentence us to death. But freedom's root runs deep and old. It's not a thing you own, a fire that can't be bought or sold, a seed of anger sown, and in that war of fire and lies, a new rebellion rise. They dragged a lion from the fight, a chief they put in chains. They thought their steel would dim his light and poison all his veins. The tyrant with a coward's grin, to teach his brutal law, commanded, let the pain begin. We'll break him with the saw. He offered them his hands and wrist, a defiance that they miss. You take the hands, you feed the hate, a lesson you will learn. You seal your own damn bloody fate for every bridge you burn. He is the rage you can't contain, a death that's coming due. He is the fire and the rain. Returning now for you.
He raised his arms, a bloody sight, and screamed a battle cry. They want to fill our hearts with fright and watch our spirit die. But for each hand they stole from me, 100 fists will rise. They tied the knives for all to see, with vengeance in their eyes. 2 hands of flesh for 10 of steel, a wound you'll always feel. You take the hands, you feed the hate, a lesson you will learn. You seal your own damn bloody fate for every bridge you burn. He is the rage you can't contain, a debt that's coming due. He is the fire and the rain, returning now for you. So listen close, you men of power, who sit on thrones of lies. The final bill comes by the hour when the silent victim rise. Their brutal axe, his sharpened knife, it's more than just a name. It is the story of this life. It is the rebel's flame.
I wasn't born to sow or weep, but ride with sword in hand. My husband's promise I would keep to free the stolen land. From the high plains we heard the call of fire in the soul, to watch the Spanish Empire fall and make our people whole. We traded comfort for the fight and darkness for the light. I led the charge, a whirlwind's cry, with my pistol and my brave. I taught my loyal men to fly and never be afraid. We fought for every dusty mile, for every mountain pass. I'd see my children's hopeful smile through a clouded looking glass. A vision fading in the heat with every drum we beat. I gave 4 sons to this new flag, a heart for every star, left their small bodies in a bag beneath the sky at war. They say a nation has been born from the sacrifice I made, but I'm a mother ripped and torn, a debt that's never paid. From the ground and never made a sound. I gave 4 sons to this new flag, a heart for every star, left their small bodies in a bag beneath the sky at war. They say a nation has been born from the sacrifice I made, but I'm a mother torn, a debt that's never paid. The war was won, the bells all rang, the generals got their fame, but no one knew the songs I sang, no one recalled my name. I died alone in bitter need, a hero left to rust, a forgotten single fading seed returning to the dust. So don't you cry your tears for me, my story is not done. My spirit rides the mountains free, my revolution's won.
Born a northern sun where the hungry mountains weep, a life of running from the gun while justice was asleep. They took my sister, took my pride, they left me with a scar. So I took the name I couldn't hide in a single burning star. A rebel's fire in the night, a promise whispered low, to turn the darkness into light and watch anew.
forged from rust. We were the thunder on the plains, a river breaking free, washing away the master's chains for all the world to see. From the haciendas we reclaimed, we answered freedom's call. 1,000 angry voices named the ones who made them fall. But victory's a poison cup when brothers want the crown. The revolution eats you up from the inside, coming down. The smiles of allies turned to steel, their handshakes felt like ice. The southern shadows, cold and real, demanded their own price. I saw the hunger in their eyes, a different kind of war, built on a throne of clever lies, and nothing less, nothing more. He thought the fighting days were past, a quiet man again, driving his motor car too fast to wash away the sin. He drove into a dusty town with the sun upon his face, not knowing he'd be taken down without a single trace of honor in a coward's trap, a hail of lead and smoke, a final thunderous violent clap before his spirit broke. They feared the legend, not the man. They feared the rebel seed, so they bought him with the traitor's plan and paid for their own greed. They left his body in the sun to show that they had won, but they don't know what they have done. The story's just begun. They gave a ghost a reason more to ride upon the wind, a general's name, a rebel's prayer.
We found our love when guns would sing a lullaby of steel upon the hope that freedom brings, and a love I thought was real. We built a home in stolen hours between the battle plans, and simple flowers held safely in our hands. The war was won, the statues rose, but victory felt cold. I saw a distance in your prose, a story to be told. You'd stare beyond our window pane, beyond our child's small face. You heard the drums call out again from some forgotten place. That had to make you whole. You left one morning in the rain with your rifle and your creed. You said this world is filled with pain, and I must plant a seed of freedom for the poor and weak, for children just like ours. There were no other words to speak in those final bitter hours.
grandson. They said the law was on the page, but I found mine in steel. You can't put freedom in a cage or bargain how we feel. A powerful let me shout. So let them call me devil's wrath, a ghost upon the stone. I'll walk my own damn bloody path and take my mountain throne. For 7 years I was the fight, the fire in the dark, a rebel soul, a burning light, the anger and the spark. We are the children of the dirt, the ones they cast aside. We learn to answer hurt, with nowhere left to hide. Even more powerful and defiant. So let them call me devil's wrath, a ghost upon the stone. I'll walk my own damn bloody path and take my mountain throne. Let them call me devil's wrath, a ghost upon the stone. I'll walk my own damn bloody path and take my mountain throne. A viper's promise in the night for a pouch of silver lies. Not a bullet, not a fight, just the kindness in his eyes. The barn door creaked, the rifles aimed, the final trap was laid. 17 stars across my chest, a final ragged breath, my name a whisper to the west, the victory of death.
The rain fell hard upon the lake. The night was black as stone. We heard the whisper of their break to leave our sacred home. A serpent slithering from its cage across the western road, but the city woke with sacred rage to reap the debt they owed. The drum of war began to beat with the thunder of our feet. The causeway turned into a hell of obsidian and steel. The sound of foreign bodies fell, a wound they never heal. From every rooftop, every boat, a righteous arrows flew for every brother's stolen throat. A debt of blood was due. Their greedy race had reached its end. On that stone bridge, my friend, this is the night your God will weep. This is the sorrowful night. Your stolen gold is what you'll keep as you sink out of the light. This is the wrath of a wounded son. mighty sin that pulled their bodies down. The yellow curse they held within would make a coward drown. We heard them curse, we heard them cry, weighed down by what they stole, a fitting way for thieves to die. Without a heart or soul, their armor was their tombstone, heavy as a sinner's load. This is the night your God will weep. This is the sorrowful night. Your stolen gold is what you'll keep as you sink out of the light. This is the wrath of a wounded son. Your final debt is paid. Your easy victory is done upon a sharpened blade. The sun will rise on broken men, the causeway red with tears. They'll run back to their hills again to feed upon their fears. Let them run, let them weep and mourn. This city's heart is ours this morn.
They tell a tale of a weeping ghost who haunts the riverbed, searching for the one she lost, the children that are dead. A fairy tale to scare the night, a whisper and a prayer, but her shadow walks in plain daylight, and her sorrow fills the air. Dress is not a ghostly white, it's stained with sun and dirt. Her hands don't vanish in the light, they show a lifetime's hurt. She holds no phantom in her arms, a shovel and a spade, digging through the silent harms, a promise that she made. Oh, you're it's in the sun, it's in the rain, on this long, slow ascent. For every child the darkness took, a mother's heart still bleeds. We search the earth with our own look, planting defiant seeds. Her cry is not to drag you down to waters dark and deep. It is the most defiant sound from a promise she must keep. It is the sound of hope and rage that echoes in the dust, to turn another empty page in memory and trust. Oh, you're it's in the rain, on this long, slow ascent. For every child the darkness took, a mother's heart still bleeds. We search the earth with our own look, planning to fight.
is the ghost, the legend, or the mirror, the echo of a single soul, or a mother's growing clearer. Perhaps the line is truly gone between the myth and prayer. Her cry is ours until the dawn, and solace is not there.
The hunger had a certain bite back on my father's land. The government offered a guiding light, a rifle for my hand. They gave me boots and a coat of gray to keep the wolves at bay. I didn't know until today the wolf was me they'd pay. A silver peso for my soul and a life I can't control. We ride the plane, a state-fed ghost, against the men we know, the ones our masters hate the most, the ones who make things grow. I see my brother in their eyes, I see my father's shame. I am the shadow for their lives, a man without a name, just a dog upon a leash who prays for some release. They call me law, they call me right, the guardian of the peace, but I'm just a phantom in the night whose torment will not cease. I traded freedom for my wage, a horse and dusty bed, and locked my honor in a cage, and wish that I was dead. Last week we chased a rebel man who fought us till the end. His wife just watched, she had no plan, no one left to defend. She looked right through me, cold and clear, her eyes were black as stone, and in them I could see my fear of dying all alone. Her silent stare, it cut so deep, a secret I must keep. They call me law, they call me right, the guardian of the peace, but I'm just a phantom in the night whose torment will not cease. I traded freedom for my wage, a horse and dusty bed, and locked my honor in a cage, and wish that I was dead. So I polish up this Mauser gun beneath a lonely star. My war is lost, my war is won, right here inside this bar. Another drink to kill the light, another lonely night. phantom in the sun. The man who brought my brother pain, whose wicked deed was done. I know the symbols on your shield, I know your eagle's cry. Today upon this bloody field, one of us has to die. This isn't for the gods above. This is for hate, not love. I see your face and know your kin, I see your brother's eyes. The noble war I had to win beneath these weeping skies. I took his heart to feed the sun, a death of sacred art. I did what had to be my son and played a warrior's part. And if today my blood must flow, it is the dead I owe. This is the war of broken flower,
a debt of blood and blade,
the end of all your waking hour,
a promise to the gods we made.
No glory here, no prize to gain, just a heart to stop the rain. You call it honor, call it grace, a gift for gods to see. But I remember his dead face, he was everything to me. You talk of son and sacrifice, of duty and of dread, but you will pay your own damn price for the living and the dead. Your painter priest can have my heart when I have torn yours apart. A warrior knows his final fate, a truth he can't deny. Beyond the glory or the hate, we all are born to die. Perhaps my captured brother's soul has sent you here for me, to make my spirit finally whole and set his own soul free. So come and strike, let your blade sing a final worthy offering. This is the war of broken flower,
Debt of blood and blade,
the end of all your waking hour.
promise to the gods we made.
No glory here, no price to gain, just a heart to stop the rain.
Oh, my brother,
For the sun,
your time is over.
a noble death is won. His fire's out, his rage is cold, he lies beneath my blade. A story that will now be told, a sacred promise made. He fought to avenge a brother's fall, a bitter, painful thorn. Now his proud heart will answer the call to help the sun be born.
They called me Mally Nally, then they gave me other names. A tongue that twists, a heart in chains, caught in these cruel games. Sold away in darkest night, caught in the clash of dark and light. I learned their words, I held them tight to guide me through the blight. His eyes, they held a hungry fire, vision sharp and keen. He spoke of gold, of his desire, of lands I'd never seen. He needed me, this man of steel, to speak what he would say. And in his purpose I could feel a sliver of my own way. I walked between their world and his, a bridge of fragile bone, and every word a silent kiss upon a dying throne. was dead, a different kind of throne. I chose the tongue, I chose the word to keep some souls from the sword. I am the bridge, I am the flood where two great rivers ran. I mix the steel, I mix the blood to make a new kind of man. So let them judge me hard and cold for the choice I had to make. My son's new world is the story told, born for both our sake. A new world born from a heart so torn.
The story written, tale of dust and dread, of promises the liars sin, the tears that weren't all shed. The old ones speak of how they fell upon this sacred ground, a sorrow that my heart can tell in every sighing sound, a memory of fire and grief that time cannot relieve.
This is the same Sonoran sun that saw their spirits break. Beneath its gaze the hunt begun for a future they couldn't take. This river knows their final pleas, it saw their hopes all die, and every stone still holds the breeze that carried their last cry. They tried to steal their very soul and leave a hollow hole. They cry the name the desert knows, a spirit drowned in pain. The blood of true survivors flows, a sorrow in the rain. I see the chains, I feel the fear, a ghost on every track. The southern train brought only tears, there was no turning back. They sold their bodies weak and frail to a green and humid tomb, a never-ending bitter trail sealed by a cruel doom. From freedom's light to endless night, extinguished in their plight. They cry the name the desert knows, a spirit drowned in pain. The blood of true survivors flows, a sorrow in the rain.
A quiet pact the mothers made, a vow without a sound. Upon the altar of the rails, on cursed and foreign ground, they held their children to their chests with tears they couldn't weep, and gave their souls to the wind's cold crest, a promise they would keep. So many lives in silent flight, all swallowed by the endless night.
The train rolls on an empty womb with so much less to bind. 100 falls, a rolling tomb, a scar upon our kind. Their sacrifice, a holy rain, we will remember all their pain.
The tales of merchant ships, so fat and slow and grand. The realest prize is on the lips of a wild and blood-soaked land. They call that coast a humid hell where Spanish soldiers rot. So let me tell you of a spell and the brotherhood we got. They said a king lived in the green with arrows sharp and fast. A jungle phantom rarely seen, a shadow from the past. We didn't go with heads bowed low or begging for a truce. We met him with a pirate's glow and the devil's own excuse. We had the jungle, we had the sea, a pact of blade and smoke. The fiercest devils you could see that ever a promise spoke. We taught his men the cannon's roar, he taught us jungle craft, and the Spanish learned to fear the shore and our unholy draft. Our unholy draft. We'd slip like snakes through mangrove roots and hit them in the night. They'd wake up to the sound of boots and a god-awful sudden fright. A silent arrow, then our cry, a blast of musket fire. We'd take their gold and watch them die and feed our own desire. We had the jungle, we had the sea, a pact of blade and smoke. The fiercest devils you could see that ever a promise spoke. We taught his men the cannon's roar, he taught us jungle craft, and the Spanish learned to fear the shore and our unholy draft. What a holy draft! So when you hear the jungle drum or the concertina's wail, remember what we had become beyond the map and trail. He was the king of that green hell, and we were kings, you see. The greatest story you could tell. So raise a glass with me. So raise a glass. From sun to sun, and never knew a wall. My only friends, my horse and gun, before I saw it fall. My roof was just the starry sky, my church the open plain. I never thought I'd watch it die beneath a bitter rain. Strangers came with sharpened wire and posts of foreign wood. They fed the land to their desire and drank its living blood.
their lines and built their gates, a world I couldn't see, and seal the saddest of all fates for my weary horse and me. They stole the line where sky meets ground, the only church I knew, and with the wire they chained and bound the endless open blue. They put the sunset in a cage and sold the stars above, and written on my final page the death of all I love. I see the strangers work the soil where wild herds used to roam, trapped in a life of endless toil, and call their prison home. They fear the storms, they fear the night, they do not know the signs. They only know the fading light between the boundary lines. They stole the line where sky meets ground, the only church I knew, and with the wire they chained and bound the endless open blue. They put the sunset in a cage and sold the stars above, and written on my final page the death of all I My father's ghost, he rides with me towards the setting sun. We're searching for a patch of free where we can be